Hey everybody, so I wanted to do I'm trying to add more movie based content to my channel. So I want to do a quick discussion on the ending of a movie that I absolutely love. Seven Psychopaths. Now the reason I want to discuss the ending of this movie is because out of the people that I've talked to about it, and albeit very few, because I think this movie is one that really snuck under the radar in 2012 is what it says when it came out. Um, so I don't talked to that many people, but the people I have, you never hear anything or their views or anything that I looked up online. You never really hear about how dark and kind of depressing the ending is. Now, obviously, sometimes with the ending, this will have spoilers. Now, it's not one of those that really like gets to you and sticks with you. I mean, it kind of does. It just like, sticks with me a little bit. So I think it's actually a very good and realistic ending to the movie, but it is very dark and depressing because we see through the movie that God, I thought his fucking name, Colin Farrell's character. I just watched the damn movie. I'm sorry, I had a colonoscopy and an endoscopy this morning, and I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm tired. Marty. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, we see that his only real friend is Billy, and then later Hans, when he's introduced to Hans. Um, Kyra, his girlfriend, breaks up with him because he got drunk. It's another big thing that I'll get to into with the ending. And he called her a bitch, and she dumped him. Now that that can be argued either way. It's either good for him or bad for him. It's probably more in the middle for me. But at the end of the movie, he loses. Billy dies. Of course, he planned to die. He was a psychopath. He planned it like it was a movie. Like obviously, it is a movie to us, but in the movie world where everything is real, he was seeing it as a movie, and he wanted to die at the end. So he dies. Hans dies. So there's the two of his friends, his only two friends that we know of, who died. Now he may have some other friends, but from what the movie leads us to believe, like let's say he does have some other people, they're probably closer to acquaintances or just like he's kind of their buddy. They probably don't hang out much. They don't talk much. I can't think of one other person throughout the movie he talks to. I don't think he talks to anybody else at the party. I mean, he talks to Zachariah and everybody else. I'm talking about in a friendship way. Someone that says this guy could have another friend, and there's not. So he ends up completely alone and miserable. You can tell just by the way his face, the way he looks when Zachariah calls him, saying he's gonna kill him because he didn't put Zachariah's message to Myra up there. And we can still see that he's still deep, deep in the bottle. The whole movie goes through. It's always talking about how Marty is an alcoholic. Sometimes it jokes about that. That's actually one of the funniest scenes. Is uh, poodles always look like they've been crying. Maybe they just got jumped by their girlfriend because they got a drinking problem too. The Spanish have got bullfighting, the French have got cheese, and the Irish have got alcoholism. But like as the movie progresses, it becomes less of a joking matter and a serious matter. Like this guy he's an alcoholic. He's not a violent alcoholic or anything, but he's destroying himself because he's miserable. You can tell throughout the movie he's just miserable. He doesn't want to die at the beginning of the movie, but by the end of it, you can see maybe he doesn't technically want to, but he doesn't really give a shit. Because when at the beginning of the movie, when Charlie, I can't remember the last name, but Woody Harrelson's characters, his thugs bust in to where Marty is, and they're looking for the dog, and Christopher Walken, they take Christopher Walken, they take him back to where they're holding the dogs, and Marty's there, and he's scared. He doesn't want to die. He has a gun to his head. He's like, no, no, okay, I'll tell you. But at the end of the movie, let's say this is the alcohol bottle. He's like, and I know this is close, but he's like, here's the phone. He's like, you see the alcohol bottle? You can tell he's drunk. He's groggy. He comes phone. It's Zachariah. And at kind of first, he's like, shit, he realizes he fucked up. He forgot. Zachariah says, well, I'll be over to kill you on Tuesday. And I don't remember that quote, but Colin Farrell, Marty, says something like, okay, that's fine. Or you can tell by the way he says it, he doesn't care. Like, again, I don't think he'd commit suicide or anything. That's another theme in the small theme in the movie. Maybe that's why he doesn't, because he doesn't want to go to hell. Because the whole story with the Quaker is the killer in the Quaker story. He slit his throat because he's the only people that are guaranteed a place in hell are those who wants to take their own life. So maybe that's why he doesn't do it. Maybe he's too scared. Maybe he doesn't technically want to die. As I said, you can tear. You can tell he doesn't really care. So he ends up completely alone. He sees one of his best friend, murdered after dealing with the fact that he's a psychotic killer. Of course, he comes to somewhat terms with that, but, that's still way in your mind. Like, it's all the time you knew this guy and he was killing people. They may not have been the best people in the world, but still. And then he sees Han's body. He knows Hans got killed, but he sees the body. And, he makes his movie. One of the last things we see is he finishes the movie. He's typing and finishes the movie, the script, and he takes it. Obviously, it goes on screen because Zachariah calls and says the thing about, we didn't put my message in the movie. I'm going to kill you on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. It might be Thursday. Anyway, but yeah, that's my point. Like, his movie was probably pretty successful. It kind of gives the hint that he's a fairly successful screenwriter. He lives in a nice place. He clearly has money. It doesn't really say, "Oh, this is his next big movie. Everybody's looking forward to it." But it kind of plays with that, hitting that. But I think it probably was a very good movie. I mean, you can say that was a movie you watched. You can say all that. But in the movie world where everything is real, his movie is probably pretty successful because it comes a very personal place, all those personal experiences. But at the same time, every time that movie's brought up to him, he has to think about and almost relive those personal experiences. Yeah, his movie was a success. But I really doubt that turned his life around, because when you get Zachariah calls, obviously his movie's in theaters. And he's like I said, he just doesn't really care that if Zachariah comes and kills him. Now, you can debate up and down all day whether Zachariah comes and kills him or not. And you can debate all day and night whether it would be a better fate for him, for Zachariah to come and kill him, or not. Because Zachariah says, you sound different. You sound like you've been the ringer. Colin Farrell, Marty, says something like, oh, yeah, He's like, well, Tuesday or Thursday, man, it's no good for me, after all. So, you can say he changed his mind. You can say he did later. I don't think so. You can say that he realized that letting him live would be a worse punishment than death. But, yeah, the movie ending is actually pretty dark and depressing. Now, as I think I said at the beginning of this video, I absolutely love this movie. The cast is perfect, amazing, great acting out of every single person in there, especially Sam Rockwell. He is so good in that movie. I'm glad he won the award for Best Supporting Actor in 3 Billboards, but I really think he should have won some for Seven Psychopaths. But everybody plays their part so well. The dark comedy is spot on, and even the emotional moments are really good. Like, how well done is Honda's story, his idea of what to do with the Vietnamese priest. But I love the movie. But yeah, very dark and depressing, but realistic, very realistic ending. It's not easy for an alcoholic to get off the sauce. And especially after everything he's seen, and he ends up, like I said, he ends up alone with no friends, no one to look out for him. Kyra's not going to get back with him, and again, you could debate whether that's good or not. But yeah, so I want to say my 2 cents about that, because I've never heard anything about that. And I watched it again tonight, and it really just hit me this time. I'm like, man, it's a dark ending, but I love it. Like I said, very realistic. A movie I would not have probably wouldn't have liked as much if it came out. He got the screenplay of he quit alcohol, and he had a happy life. No, it's not very realistic. But that's my point. This has been 10 minutes, almost 11. So catch you later.